Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Thank you. You're all awake. You're all here. Welcome to the territory of the First Nations, Musqueam, Squamish, Tsleil-Waututh, and the shared territory of SFU. And welcome to this day, this beautiful day. Thank you for bringing the sunshine along with you. It's great. All those of you who have the secret of the sun. Just a very quick prayer before we start. Great Spirit, thank you for bringing us together today. Just guide our thoughts, our words, and our actions. And thanking our families for allowing us to do the work that we do, the times that we miss from our homes, the times that we miss from our communities. I just ask your families, thank you. And a very special blessing on what is taking place today, especially for the university being what it is, moving forward almost every day. And thank you.
Thank you, Elder Margaret, for that lovely welcome. Elder Margaret is a member of Simon Fraser University's Aboriginal Elder Program, and I'd like to join with her in acknowledging the Coast Salish peoples on whose traditional territory we are privileged to gather today and every day on this magnificent campus. I also want to acknowledge our piper, Roger Lai, who helped us start off on the right note. Excuse my puns. Roger's a member of the SFU Pipe Band's Grade 3 Robert Malcolm Memorial Juvenile Band, and the band will be competing at the World Championships in Glasgow this summer. So if you don't have summer plans, I strongly advise the championships as a great place to go. So thank you very much, Roger. Really appreciate your being here. My name's Andrew Petter. I'm president of Simon Fraser University, and it's just such a pleasure to welcome you to the SFU Data Centre, one of Canada's 4 new supercomputing and data center sites, to celebrate the results of years of planning and months of hard work. This project is one of the most ambitious of its kind in Canadian history, and it represents an important advance for SFU, for British Columbia, and indeed for all of Canada. Now, I'd like to acknowledge a number of special guests who are here today. We have with us from Burnaby, City Councillor Sav Dhaliwal, the President and CEO of CompuCanada, Mark Dietrich, Gil Ciampa, Vice President Programs and Performance with the Canadian Foundation for Innovation, Lindsay Sill, Executive Director of WestGrid. I'd also like to offer a special acknowledgement and thank you to other team members from CompuCanada and the Canada Foundation for Innovation and WestGrid for joining us today, as well as to SFU faculty and staff, huge numbers of whom have been involved in this project. And I will take a bold leap here by acknowledging just a few, but they are a few of many. They include CIO Mark Roman, the IT services team, Dr. Joy Johnson, Dr. Norbert Honorland, of the Vice President Research Team, I should say, and our the Chief Science Officer of CompuCanada, who doubles as a professor for Simon Fraser University, Dr. Dugan ONeill, as well as to many donors and industry partners. It has truly been a remarkable collaboration of people within and without the university here at SFU and across Canada that has made today's event possible. And finally, I'd like to welcome guests, many of whom are joining us from out of town, including Michael Dan, President of Gemini Power Corp and an eminent supporter of health, education, and Indigenous initiatives. Michael, we're very pleased to be able to welcome you here today. Well, Simon Fraser University is thrilled to be leading the development of this national network of advanced research computing centers and to launch Cedar, Canada's most powerful academic supercomputer. This supercomputer will provide the university and our network of researchers with secure, leading-edge computing capacities. In this way, it provides further support for SFU's vision to be Canada's engaged university and its associated commitment to be a world leader in knowledge mobilization, building on a strong foundation of fundamental research. So with that introduction, it's now my great pleasure to welcome Dr. Joy Johnson, SFU's Vice President, Research and International, who will share a few words on this wonderful occasion. Joy?
Thank you very much, Andrew. I'm very, very pleased to be here today and to welcome all of you to this launch of this new Advanced Research Computing, or ARC, system, fondly known as Cedar. SFU is honored to be one of 4 major new supercomputing and data center sites in Canada, helping Canadian researchers have access to the latest ARC resources and expertise. It's part of a national platform, and we're very, very pleased to be part of it. Cedar is going to serve many of Canada's world-class researchers working in diverse areas, including genomics, advanced manufacturing, green technology, personalized medicine, to name but a few. Cedar is also going to allow us to build on our leadership in advanced research computing and do what we do best, engage communities in research and innovation. It's going to provide our students and our researchers with opportunities to have access to cutting-edge technology. And this is an essential digital infrastructure that's going to ensure that Canada remains at the forefront of technology, innovation, big data research, and cybersecurity. Therefore, Cedar and the new SFU Data Centre further supports our university-wide initiatives, SFU Innovates and KEY, SFU's Big Data Initiative. The first stage of this national renewal and modernization of supercomputer and data storage facilities is valued at $75 million and includes funding from the Canada Foundation for Innovation, the BC Knowledge Development Fund, as well as industry partners. I want to thank these organizations for investing in the future of research in Canada, the future of discovery and innovation. These investments are addressing urgent and pressing needs and replacing aging high-performance computing systems across Canada. I'd like to acknowledge and thank our partners at Compute Canada, WestGrid, and the entire project team at SFU. I know you all have worked tirelessly to make what started as a vision a reality. I want to give a special thanks to Norbert Haunerland. Norbert really has been a champion for this project, but also a champion for Compute Canada. And we really are indebted to you, Norbert, for leading and pushing this forward. It's now my pleasure to turn the mic over to Guy Levesque, the Canada Foundation for Innovation's Vice President of Programs and Performance, to speak about SFI's history and involvement in making Cedar and the new data center possible.
Thank you, Vice President Johnson. Distingués invités, mesdames et messieurs, it's a pleasure for me and CFI, Canada Foundation for Innovation, to be here with you today on this good day, maybe great day, or maybe amazing day for advanced research computing in the country. The ability to pull out the hidden insights and discoveries from massive data sets is kind of the hallmark of computing research in the country in today's era. Imagine for a moment the kind of capabilities that our past great minds could have unlocked had they had access to these resources. But think of what this means for today's great minds and tomorrow's great minds. The possibilities are truly inspiring. They are also at the root of what the CFI Cyber Infrastructure Initiative is all about. It's an ambitious initiative, one that will see a total funding of investments of about $125 million over the past 2 years, and a similar or comparable amount for the coming years. It's an initiative that is fundamental to supporting world-class research, technology development in computationally intensive and data-intensive research across the country. Global research, as you know, is increasingly driven by massive digitization efforts, platform sensors, technologies, high-throughput devices, modeling and simulation, all of the things that require access to state-of-the-art computing resources. And as part of a massive reinvestment in advanced research computing in the country through the Cyber Infrastructure Initiative, this is the second of 4 truly national systems that are going to be deployed over the course of the next year in support of advanced research computing users from across the country. So in fact, Cedar is here at SFU, but in fact, it's a resource for everybody across the country, independent of where they're doing their research and their work. So the facility here at Simon Fraser University will help to lay a solid foundation to keep Canada at the forefront of advanced research computing. It is one step in many steps that are going to be coming over the next few years to make sure that Canada solidifies its position on the world stage. It's also an important step forward in the drive to the modernization, to the consolidation, and to the optimization of our advanced research computing resources, our national platform. This single system here at SFU, Cedar, exceeds the combined capacity of the more than 30 legacy systems that it will replace. That is a pretty phenomenal figure to look at. It will also be very high on the list of the top 500 supercomputers in the world. Some say it may break the top 50. That also is a tremendous statistic to think about. At the CFI, you know that we believe that world-class research infrastructure supports world-class research and that it helps to mobilize communities. As you heard the word engage spoken many times this morning, that is the hallmark of Simon Fraser University, and Cedar and the SFU Data Centre is a testament to their ability to engage with the communities, their partners, and collaborators. It will help to create and find solutions to critical problems, to help develop and shape public policies, to help us relate to one another. The types of research that are enabled by high-performance computing, which we'll see when we visit the facility and look at some of the great research projects and programs that are being developed and that are taking advantage of Cedar. So I want to congratulate everybody that's involved in realizing this incredible vision from the time we made the award to today when we're going to be engaging the Cedar supercomputer. And I want to thank everybody who helped organize this event. It's an opportunity to see firsthand the awesome potential and transformative potential of high-performance computing and how it's going to help shape Canada's academic future and indeed our prosperity. Merci, thank you.
Thank you, Guy. The Canadian Foundation for Innovation has indeed been an incredible partner in building research infrastructure right across Canada, but I must say particularly we appreciate that partnership here at Simon Fraser University. Our research strength has been hugely augmented by the support we've received from CFI. We're also blessed at SFU by a remarkable IT services team. In fact, we couldn't be here today without that team. And I'd like to invite Mark Roman, who is SFU's Chief Information Officer, to say a few words about the work that went into this historical achievement and to make another introduction. Mark?
Thank you very much, Andrew. There have been conversations in higher ed across Canada for at least the last decade about how we need to rationalize the number of data centers in Canada. And with the opening of this data center today, we realize the dream of providing a more effective and efficient advanced research computing infrastructure for the country. So I'm very excited about today's announcement. The SFU Data Centre was originally built in 1969 to post-disaster specifications, and it reflects a unique approach to architecture at the time. Back in the day, you just couldn't get enough concrete. It was designed to match Arthur Erickson's original vision for the Burnaby Campus and reflects a campus architectural consistency. And although it may look quite appealing, the true and unique benefit of locating the SFU Data Centre on Burnaby Mountain in this particular location is that we're sitting on top of pre-Ice Age subterranean granite, which makes this one of the safest seismic locations in the entire Lower Mainland. So if there's an earthquake today, rest assured you're in the best place to be. The facility design also provides some remarkable unique features. The building has about 8,000 square feet of uninterrupted floor space. So Cedar, the Compute Canada configuration, currently occupies about 25% of that floor space, and that leaves lots of room for future opportunities, lots of room for growth. The facility alone is capable of housing about 10 megawatts of power. The entire Burnaby campus only consumes about 9 megawatts of power, so that gives you a sense of how big this can be. You'll also note that each of Cedar's 17 high-density processing racks is capable of generating the same heat as about 4 average home barbecues. So next year, during the IT picnic, we're going to have it inside if it rains. Another key design element of the building and Cedar is the sustainability. So our power utilization efficiency ratio is about 1.07. What this means is that for every megawatt used for computing, we only use 0.07 megawatts for overhead like cooling. So to put this in perspective, most Canadian university data centers have a PUE of about 2. So this makes this a rather remarkably green facility. Providing national strategic research computing service involves some obvious facilities, massive computational processing, vast storage capacity, but there's a lot of behind-the-scenes facilities, including enormously complex support services, processes, and infrastructure. Ultimately, the real success of this project is fully and completely dependent on a small group of brilliant and dedicated people. They're the true heroes who transcend the technology, and I thank each and every one of you for your hard work. Of course, we can't do this all in splendid isolation. We have a family of marvelous industry partners without whom this great achievement could not have been possible. So I want to thank BC Hydro, Canary, BC Net, Dell, Scalar, DDN, NVIDIA, Intel, Seagate, and IBM. So it's now my pleasure to invite Mark Dietrich, President and Chief Executive Officer, and our partner from Compute Canada.
Thank you, Mark. And honored guests, colleagues, and friends, thank you for joining us today. It is a great pleasure to be here celebrating this key milestone for the future of research in Canada, a milestone made possible through partnership, collaboration, and a shared vision. Simon Fraser University, the Canada Foundation for Innovation, Compute Canada, our regional partner WestGrid, and the governments of Canada and British Columbia have come together to enhance and modernize the advanced research computing infrastructure that Canada's researchers need to compete and excel on the world stage. I'd like to thank all of these organizations and their leaders, both for their vision and for their support of this initiative. The capabilities of the Cedar system represent a step change in Canadian advanced research computing infrastructure. Don't think of this as simply some more computers. Instead, think how Cedar will enable data and computationally intensive research on a scale never before available to Canadian researchers. Cedar will allow our best and brightest to tackle new problems with greater precision, accuracy, and speed than ever before. This is truly transformational technology that is a highly specialized tool designed specifically for Canadian research excellence. Cedar is also transformational because it is part of Compute Canada's National Advanced Research Computing Platform and one of 4 national systems coming online as part of our renewal, all funded by the CFI and all integrated to provide national services to researchers across Canada. Along with the technology, we are proud to honor another great resource, our experts, many of whom are right here today. Our more than 200 experts from across the country work together to help researchers from all disciplines to effectively use these technologies to achieve bigger, better, and faster results. Whether they are tracking and understanding the origins and the spread of infectious disease, simulating the flow of drugs and other molecules through a body, analyzing the effects of climate change on the atmosphere or the oceans, developing new social policies based on evidence found in big data, our researchers rely on Compute Canada's advanced technologies and our unique expertise to convert raw data into information, insights, and knowledge. Compute Canada essentially operates data factories, and the greater the capacity of these data factories, the greater our researchers' ability to create the knowledge and wisdom that powers our economy and that allows us to excel on the world stage. Thank you all. Next, I'd like to welcome Fiona Brinkman, SFU Professor of Molecular Biology and Biochemistry and an ARC researcher, to describe what Cedar will mean for her research.
Thank you, Mark, and a big thank you to all involved in making this happen, from those funding this effort to those tireless technicians installing all those thousands, I understand literally thousands of cables. I would certainly not, I'm just glad I don't have to even imagine what a job that is. But I'm grateful because I will need to use this new data center, and I will be able to use it immediately to tackle a growing issue, which is the need to better track and control infectious diseases. Because infectious diseases don't honor borders. In fact, infectious diseases follow flight paths more closely than geographic distance. And with the increasing globalization of trade and travel, disease outbreaks can have a huge impact, both on public health and economies. So for example, one E. coli outbreak, eventually linked to salad sprouts, caused not only 50 deaths and thousands ill, but also European farmers alone had to be compensated over 210 million euro due to crop losses in 1 year. So we have been dealing with, most recently, the E. coli outbreak associated with flour. So as an aside, a reminder not to eat raw cookie dough, particularly now, tasty though it is. But this new data center will help us tackle the need to better track and control disease. We have developed some new software with the Public Health Agency of Canada to analyze the DNA from microbes as an ultimate microbial fingerprinting or tracking system, essentially using DNA as a code to track diseases like a disease detective. This system is being used now as a primary tool in our national public health system, and we are also using it to study the evolution of disease. Most notably, a key academic version is being set up for global research purposes, hosted right here at SFU. So Cedar will provide key infrastructure needed to analyze the literally billions of letters of DNA code in a microbe and billions of microbes. And this state-of-the-art system is critical. I thank all those who have made this possible, placing SFU, BC, and Canada on the map as key players in this disease detective work. And of course, Cedar will have many other research impacts. So I'd like to now welcome Dr. Robert Wolko, University of Alberta Professor of Science and Physics and fellow ARC researcher, to the stage. He will expand on the impact that Cedar has had on his specific research and researchers across Canada. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Yeah, I'm here to exemplify some of the diverse work that is enabled by these supercomputers. I'm actually primarily an experimental physicist, but in my team of about 20 people, 3 are theorists, computational scientists, and they work with us every day to unravel difficult puzzles. We build and use exquisite microscopes that allow us now to see and touch atoms and even pick up atoms and replace them. And my job, in a sense, is to outmode this fantastic new computer we're here to celebrate today. I'm building, and I've been bragging to Dugan for some months now, it isn't quite ready, but we're building actual atomic level logic circuitry. It will consume 1,000 times less power than today's circuitry, and it will, I think, be revolutionary. You're here today either listening to a madman or someone who's going to create a revolution. Canada, you know, it's an interesting thing. This is such a revolutionary step, ours or others that people are attempting, that often Canada has felt in the past that we cannot get into the microfab and electronics sector because, oh, too much investment is required, others have too much inertia, we can't catch up. But you know, now, because the technology is saturating and cannot get much better than it is today, whoever plots the path forward does not need all that infrastructure and that prehistory. So Canada can lead here, and we're using this new computer to compare to our experimental measurements to understand exactly how, say, 2 atoms placed just here and not there cause a new electronic structure to originate. And so you can see I didn't prepare any notes, but I did pretty well up till now. So in conclusion, there is a great opportunity, and I think Canada can lead in this area, and this new computer will enable that. It'll enable the bringing together of ultra careful experimental work that can be ever so precisely now modeled, given that supercomputers are available. And so with that, you should very soon be hearing from us about these new developments. And hopefully the next time we gather to announce a new computer, it'll be one that our spin-off company has built. Thank you.
Thank you, Robert and Fiona and Mark. We really appreciate your being here today and bringing to light just a few of the benefits that advanced research computing and Cedar can have to society, to scientific understanding, and not only here at SFU, but as has been pointed out, right across Canada. This is a national facility, and we're so proud to be hosting it here on Burnaby Mountain. It's now my great pleasure to introduce our final speaker, who wears 3 hats. Dugan ONeill is not only SFU Professor of Physics, he's not only Chief Science Officer of Compute Canada, but I'm happy to report that Dugan will soon be taking on the mantle of Associate Vice President Research at SFU, following in the mammoth footsteps of Norbert Honorland. So please join me in welcoming Dugan ONeill.
So thank you, Andrew. I started as Compute Canada CSO 3 years ago. In those 3 years, I've had a chance to talk to researchers all over Canada in a wide variety of disciplines, and it's been a fantastic experience. These are researchers in astronomy, physics, and chemistry who I may have talked to otherwise, who are close to me in the hallways of SFU, but also in digital humanities and bioinformatics and neuroinformatics and all kinds of different areas I had not been exposed to before. They had something in common, and that's a reliance on a common shared infrastructure for advanced research computing. And when I started, there was serious concern in the community about the availability in the future of facilities that would allow those researchers to be competitive on a world stage. So today, we're announcing a facility, thanks to funding from CFI, the Government of BC, and SFU, that is a major improvement in the Canadian landscape for advanced research computing. Cedar is designed to serve researchers from all disciplines, from all over the country. Some will see it as a big data machine, others as a traditional supercomputer, and some will see it as a cloud. So it will look different depending on who's looking. Some faculty, like me, will use it to contribute to international science projects. Others will be gathering data from Canadian big data facilities like Ocean Networks Canada, Triumph, Canadian Light Source, Snow Lab, etc. Others will be focusing on more localized problems in their research labs with their postdocs and graduate students trying to solve new problems. So many will be able to ask new questions they couldn't ask before, or they'll be able to get from question to answer faster than they were ever able to do before. So we're celebrating today a tremendous technical achievement of building a system like this. That achievement is made possible through a partnership. That partnership is SFU, WestGrid, and Compute Canada. However, building the machine, deploying services on the machine, making those services available to Canadian researchers, these are means to an end. And the end is a rich and diverse research program, producing world-class results for years to come. And so I hope that this Cedar party isn't the last one that Cedar is responsible for. So for now, I would like to introduce a video celebrating the building of Cedar, the opening of Cedar. So if I could please direct your attention to the screen for the next couple of minutes.
Right from the start was to open up new possibilities for researchers. And that's the sole purpose of the whole system. That's why we do what we do, to advance research computing in Canada.
Well, I'm very proud we have the opportunity to bring the system in SFU, provide SFU as an opportunity to present to the world that we are a premier research institute.
By having Cedar, by having this better supercomputer capability, we're going to literally be able to identify these outbreaks faster. We're going to be able to research existing infectious diseases and how they're spreading more quickly. And that will help us develop better models for how to watch out for new infectious disease outbreaks occurring. So it really does speed up research enormously.
We're that close to actually making something available that people will use for their research, for doing brilliant science. As soon as the facility is open, it's going to be full. People from all over Canada are going to jump in there and immediately start computing.
We at FSU have movable podiums. We're going to need the screen again, so we might as well stick over here. What a great video to celebrate a wonderful occasion. I'm really looking forward to the next moment, because we're about to officially open the new data center and to celebrate Cedar. And to do that, I'd like to invite Joy Johnson, Gil Ciampa, and Mark Dietrich to join me over by the appropriately named engaged panel. And as soon as they get there, I'm going to ask you to join us in a countdown, so get ready. I got to get over there, and we'll count down, pull the switch, and we'll see what happens. Who knows? I don't know what it's connected to. I must say you did a great job with the countdown. Thank you all for being here again today. It's really a wonderful occasion. So much work has gone into bringing us to this moment. And Mark Roman talked about how efficient the computer is. One thing I love about this is we are recycling this building. We're repurposing this building for a modern use and making great use of a building that was constructed many years ago and now provides a new home to a remarkable, remarkable facility, of which I know we're all incredibly proud. And I know you all want a chance to check it out. And don't worry, very shortly, everyone is going to be given an opportunity to visit and to speak with the researchers who are showcasing their advanced research, computing-enabled research downstairs inside the building through this entrance this way, I'm told. And so there will be an opportunity for you to have a tour. We will be providing some of the special guests with a preliminary look-see, and then you'll be invited to proceed inside once they've had their chance. At that point, we'll begin offering tours every 5 minutes until all of you have had a chance to go through. So in the meantime, don't rush away. Please stay here, have some snacks, have some refreshments, and we'll announce when it's time for you to begin to head inside. And I would just ask the speakers before they go down to do their quick preliminary tour to please join me on stage for a quick video. And again, a big thank you to all of you who've helped to make this possible, all of you who've been here today to join in this celebration, and all of you, I'm sure all of you, who like me are looking forward to a credible future of supercomputing and what it can produce with the contribution that Simon Fraser University is now going to be able to make through this new data center. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day.